ago, I built an itinerary platform for travel marketing teams. It turns out I was actually building something much bigger. After speaking with dozens of marketers, I kept hearing the same story over and over. Digital ads don't work like they used to. These privacy laws are blocking tracking. This is why brands are moving away from ads and instead shifting over $150 billion a year into things like influencer marketing, pop-up events, and content creation. But here's the catch. Marketers are flying totally blind. They have no idea if their organic marketing is even working. One Fortune 500 CMO put it bluntly, we're probably wasting 40% of our budget each year, we just don't know which 40%. That's easily tens of millions of dollars per brand disappearing into a black hole every single year. Quick show of hands, who here likes to be tracked online? Exactly. Consumers won't tolerate it, regulators won't allow it, but brands still need data. That's what we solve at Landing. Our solution works in 3 easy steps. So first, a consumer engages with a brand, they click a link or they scan a QR code. We then tag that consumer with an anonymous ID and capture data, which helps brands to know when a consumer buys a product, online or in store, days or weeks later. We provide brands with the data that they desperately need while respecting privacy laws and consumer preferences. And over time, with millions of these data touch points, we can use AI to go from tracking to predicting. Things like consumer interests, trends, and purchasing intent. You heard that right. Cookie-free, UTM-free, this is the future of tracking. We're already partnered with multi-billion-dollar beauty company L'Oreal, kicking off with Kiehl's, and our first pilot is with a regional marketing team at Marriott. Agencies are actively pitching us into brands like Chanel, LVMH, and PSG, and we're slated to hit 1 million in ARR in the next 9 months. Brands like these trust us because we come from their world. We're ex-L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, and Omnicom, and our CTO has been building attribution systems with AI since before it was cool. Our vision for the future is one where marketers don't need to separate between paid and organic channels. They can focus on creating experiences and building connections and finally know what works. If you're an investor and you want in on the future that we're building at Landing, let's talk. Thank you.
Okay, so Devin, we were talking with Armand, and he was saying that you just got to make some revenue and eat glass. So talk to us about this L'Oreal opportunity. I know it's not always great to talk about money in front of others, but what does this mean for you guys financially?
For sure. So it's a massive opportunity. For those of you who don't know, L'Oreal isn't just a single brand. It's an enterprise group that owns over 40 brands that also grosses $44 billion a year. We were sourced by their open innovation team, so we're under an NDA with the group. We were just in Paris last month to pitch to global leadership, including their CMO. And brands like these are spending $150K to $1 million a year on existing data solutions. We're creating data that doesn't exist that brands are ready to pay for.
Nice.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Do me a favor and close your eyes. How would you describe what I'm doing on stage? What if you were the one on stage? How would you describe the audience? Is anyone smiling, frowning, leaning over to whisper how much they're going to invest at the end of demo day? Okay, you can open your eyes. The questions I just asked you describe nonverbal communication. Things like gestures, body language, and facial expressions. These cues account for over half of all communication. It's how we interact with the world and our loved ones. We count on what we see more than what we hear. But for people who are blind and neurodiverse, these cues are inaccessible and increase the likelihood of unemployment, depression, and isolation. At Hapware, we're building Ally, a haptic wristband that works with smart glasses to translate 20 nonverbal cues into haptic feedback. So when people make faces or gestures, it sends a touch or haptic signal to the wristband that then communicates the nonverbal cue in real time. Our customers can now feel a wave, their kid's smiling face, or know when they're getting flipped off. We are living proof that this technology can be built. Brian, our CTO, lost his sight at the age of 18. He's now one of 20 people in the world with a PhD in computer science that is also blind. Our chief scientist, Gabby, has her PhD in face recognition. Yeah. Oh, just went back. Jaren, our founding engineer, has a background in embedded systems and has built circuits for wearables. And I'm Jack, CEO. I have my degrees in mechanical engineering and engineering management and helped start Hapware from my dorm room. Thank you. Before Techstars, we had 20 users. Since joining, we have grown our pre-launch pipeline to have over 250,000 in sales. We integrate with the Meta Ray-Bans and have received over 270,000 in grants. Woo! We also have purchasing and pilots with some of the largest blind organizations in the world and have expanded our user base to the neurodiverse community. And finally, we moved fast. We never stopped iterating or talking to our customers and made something people love to wear. We have a multi-channel go-to-market strategy. For consumers, Ally retails for $299 plus a $29 a month subscription, both which are reimbursed by a health savings account. For B2B, like accessibility centers and nonprofits, they can purchase Ally for a yearly subscription of $660. And for B2G distributors, they can purchase a lifetime subscription of $2,800. At Hapware, we're creating a future where you can instantly understand everyone's emotions and intents without the need for words. So whether you're a blind parent that can tell when your kid is coming up to hug you, an FBI interrogator that can instantly spot a lie, or a guy that gets the hint that the date is not going well. We're building Hapware for you. This is just the beginning. If you want to be part of the future of communication or experience a demo, let's schedule a meeting or send me an email. Thanks.
So, Jack, you are building in hardware, which is Latin for startup purgatory. So can you talk to us why you chose to not only add haptic technology, why didn't you do something like audio instead?
Definitely. So I've been wearing Ally this entire pitch, and it's meant to answer those questions like I asked you when I had you close your eyes. With audio, it would be something yelling in my ear when I'm pitching. But with haptics, you can receive information passively.
Nice.
One of the most inspirational human accomplishments is having humans live and work in space. However, this miracle relies on the manual work of our astronauts, who live behind just 1 centimeter of aluminum wall, the boundary between their warm living habitat and a deadly vacuum. Debris strikes, coolant leaks, punctures. Missing the early signs can cost lives. We learned this the hard way with Columbia. During launch in 2002, a small piece of foam caused damage that wasn't able to be imaged while on orbit. NASA tried everything, pointing ground telescopes, spy satellites, but in the end, the world lost 7 heroes. By 2030, we're expected to have 10 commercial space stations, 5 supporting crew vehicles, 100,000 satellites. To keep our heroes safe, a new paradigm of robot labor must emerge to support them. And we're building it. We're Orbes. Our first space drone product, Orb, spots problems before they become catastrophic, both inside the space station using fans and outside in space using cold gas thrusters. Our patent-pending technology is safe, modular, and easy to use. Coupled space drones will deploy, perform paths, and report any visual, thermal, or air quality anomalies directly to mission control. Astronauts can also physically take Orb, place it, and ask it to record the live streams, or request it to take items out from storage. And we plan to expand to many other common chores. The cost savings, $150,000 per hour, or $300 million per station per year. In 6 months, we're proud to have already built analog zero-gravity test equipment and are demonstrating an Orb prototype that can track faces and record footage. We're proud to have 5 letters of support and 5 letters of intent, including from the Voyager Space Station Star Lab, valuing our service at $1 million per station per year, with a plan to go to the ISS by the end of 2026. And this March, Orb will become the first cinema drone to film in a zero-gravity plane with a former Cirque du Soleil performance artist. The math is simple. Orbes cost $8,000 to build and offer $1 to $3 million contracts, and we incentivize space stations with revenue sharing from visiting projects. My name is Anna Shaposhnik, founder and CEO. Me and my amazing team have built space hardware at VAST, Hermeus, USC Rocket Propulsion Laboratory, and even Techstars alumnus Orbit Fab. This project first started when I snuck into an IMAX filmmaking class and met astronaut Terry Virts. Recently, he told me a robot like Orb could have saved the Columbia crew. For us, it's more than just space stations. We see a future where our robots safely maintain thousands of other different spacecraft. If you share that vision of humans and robots working together in and outside space stations, please reach out and let's schedule a meeting to talk.
So Anna, it is the year of our Lord 2025. Why is now the best time for Orbes to exist?
This is a very special time in history because government space station, the ISS, is actually transitioning to around 10 private commercial space stations. And 2 of these are vying for a $2 billion NASA contract, most likely to be awarded sometime mid-2026. This is the perfect time to become the premier robotics provider for almost all of these space stations, and we plan to do that.
Nice.
How many of you know someone suffering from a life-threatening disease? Okay. How many of you now know someone who's died because a cure wasn't available to them? Yeah. Every life-saving product requires literally 2 truckloads of documentation before it can be approved. And billion-dollar life science companies are managing that documentation through Microsoft Word and Excel. A scientist is going to spend up to 20 hours a week, not on research, not on documentation, but on copying and pasting documents into Word. A life science company will burn $250 million manually managing paperwork, sifting through documentation in fireproof file cabinets like it's 1985. Every delay costs lives. We use AI to auto-generate regulatory-ready documentation. Life science companies connect their data, click generate, and get reports that are ready to be submitted in minutes, not months. No trucks, no copying and pasting. Soon, it will become law to transition to digital solutions. And Cytodyme will be the leader, saving thousands of hours, billions of dollars, and millions of lives. That we can cheer for, yeah. 6 months ago, we had one $5,000 pilot. Today, we have a pipeline worth over $150,000 in annual recurring revenue. We have 4 pilots and 3 paying customers, including Biorad, a $2.5 billion company. And we have many more already on the platform. We aren't pushing into the market's pulling us in. We don't charge by the seat. Our SaaS model makes money through 3 tiered subscriptions: a starter tier, a growth tier, and an enterprise tier. And we can onboard organizations in as little as 3 weeks. I'm a CEO with a deep understanding of the problem. I've qualified global manufacturing facilities, I've helped secure FDA approval for pioneering cell and gene therapy, and I've also taken multiple drug applications from concept to approval. Steven, our CTO, he is a 3-time founding engineer for venture-backed startups, and Tammy, our COO, drove customer success as a founding employee at her last startup with a customer portfolio of over $500,000 in ARR. Yeah, and together, we see a world where as soon as a clinical trial is complete, the documentation and reports that are required to be submitted for approval are done so not in years, but in minutes. Yes. My dad passed away from cancer in 2008. And the therapy that could have saved his life was approved 2 years after he passed away. He could be here tonight cheering me on, but he's not because of paperwork. Cytodyme isn't just AI. It's a loved one getting a cure on time. If you know anyone working at any of these companies, we would appreciate an introduction. Together, let's make sure that no cure arrives 2 years too late.
Y'all see why we call him the closer, yes? Nice. You are operating in an industry that is slow sell cycle, requires a ton of validation. Can you talk to us about how you've been able to take your progress from not months, but to weeks?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. We've spoken to a lot of subject matter experts and decision makers in the industry. And the thing that we've realized is that there's a lot of pre-existing, pre-validated systems that exist in the market. In fact, a lot of those stitched together are part of why we have this problem. So what we do is we sit on top of that layer and we use that validation to be able to get into these organizations a whole lot sooner.
When I was the national sales lead at Unilever and Revlon, I was in charge of 17 brands and thousands of products. We constantly needed to find new packaging suppliers, but a single wrong mistake resulted in months-long delays, hundreds of thousands in lost revenue, or could have even cost me my job. But I didn't have time to dig through directories, fill out blank contact us forms, or worst of all, go to another sales dinner with a supplier that I just needed a quote from. The link between my team and our suppliers was totally broken, and it still is today. And that is why I decided to build Laibl. I'm Jamie Lowe, CEO, and we fixed that link by seamlessly connecting brands with trusted suppliers using AI. A brand just needs to type their packaging needs into the Laibl sourcing concierge, and they're matched with vetted suppliers that can begin to provide quotes within minutes. Brands get the data without the dinners, and suppliers get automatic new leads. They just have to click and accept. We came to Techstars with $2,000 in monthly subscriptions. Since then, we've pivoted to focus entirely on packaging and switched to a commission model. In the past month alone, we've processed 54 sourcing requests, including all of the new packaging projects for L'Occitane en Provence, a $3 billion luxury skincare brand. And we've onboarded 31 new suppliers, including the largest public and privately held manufacturers in the country. Currently, we charge a 2% commission when deals close. That's over $100,000 in slated revenue for Q1 of 2026 already. And in the near future, we'll add subscriptions that will allow the brands and suppliers to advertise on our platform and with upsell opportunities to access our powerful industry data. And we've got the team to make it happen too. My co-founder and chief product officer, Nick, has designed and built SaaS solutions that have reached millions of consumers. We're starting with packaging for the beauty industry, but our vision is much larger. We plan to handle everything from product concept to creation, including design, manufacturing, and even logistics for multiple industries like food, fashion, pharmaceuticals, and more. If you're a brand from any one of these industries or a supply chain investor that wants to build this future together with us, we'd love to link up with you. Thank you.
Okay, so Jamie, you are building a marketplace. So my question for you is, ew, why? Okay. It is, how do you make sure and build both the brand and the supplier side at the same time?
Yeah, we've kind of hacked the chicken and the egg problem with the marketplace in this scenario. We focus on brands first. When a brand posts a request, it automatically pulls in new suppliers into our platform. And more suppliers means better, faster results, and the more brands we can service. So it's become a totally self-sustaining, demand-driven flywheel.
Woohoo! Nice.
Adam Rain, 16, planned his suicide with generative AI. Sadly, this is not the only case. There's 10 other cases like this just in the US. Companionship and therapy is the #1 use case in the United States, with 13.3 million conversations happening every week and growing. AI teams in industries like healthcare are starting to build their own AI companions, and they're doing it fast. But building the safety and compliance guardrails is extremely hard. They have to build it, test it, and provide audit trails. And if policies change, they have to start all over again, costing over $500,000 in 12 months of policy engineering work. And if they do it too fast, they can risk $1 million fines or risk lives. This is where we come in. We turn 12 months of policy engineering work into a few hours with just a few lines of code. This is how we do it. We provide an easy-to-install open source software development kit to help engineers get started. We have pre-built policy templates for policies like FDA, HIPAA, and GDPR. And engineers can provide complete observability and transparency to teams in compliance, clinical teams, and governance, with one-click reports and audit trail building. And this is how we win in a highly competitive and growing market. Every time we get installed, we generate hard-to-get and proprietary data. With that, we create verticalized AI products that increase the accuracy and safety of our guardrails, creating the only and self-sustaining guardrails for safety and compliance in highly regulated industries. We make it extremely easy for engineers to adopt us with a free open source SDK to get started and a tiered usage-based pricing with an annual subscription so they can scale. We're addressing a $23 billion market of AI compliance spend just in the US. And we're starting with the 40 top telehealth companies in the US because they have over 1 million patients, they're shipping AI agents, and they need to do it safely and in compliance. We literally incorporated the company 12 weeks ago. We got into Techstars powered by SDSU, which shipped an enterprise-grade product and closed 5 pilots, including one of the leading telehealth companies in the US that is on track to become a 6-figure contract in 2026. We are 2 fathers and founders with deep passion for safety and AI alignment. Ricardo, our CTO, he oversaw a $20 billion portfolio building the AI and risk models for one of the largest banks in Mexico. And I am Eduardo, I'm the CEO, and I've helped companies like Walmart, IBM, and Coca-Cola build their AI strategy. We see a future where we become the autonomous safety and compliance layer for Gen AI in highly regulated industries. Oh, and one more thing. We're moving to San Diego in 2026. And from the finest city, we're gonna build a safer AI future for kids like Adam Rain. If you're an AI engineer in healthcare or an investor that wants to join our mission, we're very happy to talk to you at our booth. Muchas gracias. Big applause for Misty, please. She nailed it, didn't she? Well, she's...
You already got your money. So, Eduardo, tell us, how do you win against other super giant compliance solutions like Vanta or Drata?
That's a great question, Misty, thank you. So we don't compete with them, we actually can work together. Companies that get compliant ready and certified with companies like Drata, they can enforce that certificates into their AI agents with us. We're actually in deep conversations with one of the leading compliance automation software companies to partner up and address the Gen AI economy together.
I love it. And give it up for that. That's awesome.